What would I do if I found out you was a man after 5 years? What you think I would do? You'll be on a t-shirt.
Well, for once I'm glad I don't get paid for these videos, because this one would definitely get demonetized. Hello everybody, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be covering one of the most disturbing videos I think I've ever seen. I hope you're all strapped in and ready, because this one is a wild ride. Apparently there is now a trend wherein a cis woman tells her boyfriend that she has been a transgender woman the whole time. To clarify, the women in these videos are cisgender women, and they do not actually identify as transgender in any way. They are not attempting to undergo any form of gender transition, nor have they undergone one in the past. This is meant to be a quote-unquote prank, with trans women being the obvious butt end of the joke. It can really just get boiled down to, "Orange, you glad I don't have a dick?" which is honestly a lot funnier than this. I mean, this trend doesn't seem to be well received by anybody, which begs the question, why are they doing it? There are more of these videos on the internet than there are conservative men on Grindr, and I just don't have the time or energy to talk about all of them. Instead, we're only going to watch one video that I thought made for a really good example of why this is a bad idea. If you have the stomach to watch more of these, then I guess you can look them up yourself. They're pretty easy to find. Before we continue though, I want to give you all a content advisory. This video contains a lot of sensitive material that some viewers can find hard to digest. If you do choose to continue, please be prepared to hear some violent and discriminatory language. The video we're watching today was published about 9 months ago by a married couple on TikTok. How you could let something like this remain on the internet for that long without feeling immense shame and embarrassment is beyond me. Please keep in mind this video starts pretty slow and then escalates in an instant, so I'm going to address everything as it happens. Obviously, there are some issues I want to discuss regarding the wife and her decision to try something like this in the first place, but the primary focus of this commentary is going to be the husband and his reaction. I could have chosen any video out of the dozen I was able to find, but I specifically chose this one because he is the perfect example of why this trend is stupid and dangerous.
What if I was men?
A what?
Like, what if, hypothetically speaking, 5 years later you find out that I was a man?
Why? Genuinely, what is the point of doing something like this, aside from seeking validation that you are somehow better than other women? Obviously, it's a prank, but aren't pranks supposed to be, I don't know, funny? Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I can't see what's meant to be funny or entertaining about this. It almost feels intended to harm the trans community by classifying trans women as less desirable and encouraging stereotypes. I mean, a few years ago, people were asking, would you still love me if I was a worm? The point of that hypothetical is obviously to prove unconditional love, but it does so by asking, would you still love me if I was less than human? Substituting that hypothetical with, would you still love me if I was a trans woman, is disgusting and cruel. That doesn't even begin to address the concerns of trying this when people in these situations have been killed. It's dangerous, it's offensive, and it's counterproductive to everything we are actively trying to achieve as trans women. Next time, just stick with the worm hypothetical.
But you not a man, like, what you mean if I found out you was a man?
But what if I was?
Why are you talking like that?
I'm just asking.
You stop using that voice?
It really just gets to a point. She's trying to sound like a trans woman by lowering her voice, but she's failing miserably. Sorry, sweetheart, but every trans woman I've ever met has been blessed with the pipes of a damn goddess. I just can't wrap my head around her thought process here. This is easily one of the most terrifying experiences a trans person can go through, and cis people thought to make a running joke out of it. The only answer I could come up with was that these women are looking for validation that they are better than trans women, and I wanted to address that before we move forward. You cannot judge if someone is a better woman based on the way they were born. The wife in this video isn't better than any other woman who might have a deep voice. She isn't better than any other woman who might have facial hair. She isn't better than any other woman. period. If she can't remember that, then the reaction she gets from others is going to be a humble fucking reminder. Obviously, that's not to say I think she's a lesser woman or a bad person either. If I had to guess, she probably saw this being done by some other content creator who scripts their videos and was put under the impression that this was something she should try. I highly doubt she even considered how dangerous or disrespectful this could be, and yeah, that's not an excuse, it's something she should be ashamed of, but we don't need to spend 10 minutes scolding her because she is also a victim here. Her husband, on the other hand, is a greasy, fart-suckling little coward who smells like unwashed bussy.
What would you do? What would you do?
What would I do if I found out you was a man after 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
What you think I would do? You'll be on a t-shirt.
Dude, did you forget you're on fucking camera? What he means by "I'll put you on a t-shirt" is he is going to print her face onto a t-shirt to memorialize her. That is not some average everyday threat, that is some unhinged shit. You have to have some screws knocked loose to say this to anyone really, but your own wife? She may not be a real trans woman, but I'm certain it still feels pretty realistic being spoken to this way. I'm not convinced this one's scripted, but I have to think that if it were, he would have come up with a better answer than this. Instead, he's going to sit here and threaten this poor girl on camera because he's scared of, what, being bullied online? What a shining example of masculinity.
You gonna put me in a t-shirt after 5 years? Like, we're already in love, so like you just gonna like end it like that? Like,
if you told me you was a man after 5, first of all, that would never happen. First of all, let's just clarify that.
mm-hmm.
If you told me you was a man after 5 years, that means you lied and deceived me. So I have no choice but to go ahead and finish you off. Pause.
Pause? Did he just threaten to commit homicide and then follow it up with a no homo? This guy is fucking hopeless and he belongs in a padded cell. I think it's safe to say he'd kick a puppy if he caught it trying to use the women's restroom. Like, I'm willing to say the wife is probably a decent person who did something stupid for validation, but her husband is an unhinged prick who I wouldn't go within a mile of. His idea of acting like a man in this situation is not to sit her down and ask her to stop looking for validation, that he loves her, because he does. Instead, he decides to threaten her in front of her own audience.
You already know what would happen. Like,
But what if we have a baby? Like, what if we had a kid?
A baby?
Yeah.
If you was a man, how would you have a baby? I don't even like this conversation.
Trust me, buddy, children are the last of your concerns. You deserve to be fucking castrated. The last thing that child needs is a father who talks to someone like this, especially when it's their own mother. Regardless of whether or not they have kids, though, she should definitely leave this clown. I mean, I'm no psychologist, I never even went to college, but that doesn't sound like the foundation for a very healthy relationship to me.
You will be gone, all right? That'll be it. It will be no finding you. Yes, you'll be somewhere far, far away in the ocean. Yes.
I have a secret.
Don't play with me.
I have a secret.
Don't play with me.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Don't play with me.
Whoa, that's actually not funny at all. She's either distraught by his answers or desensitized to them, because my first inclination would be to slap his bitch ass and leave. Nobody deserves to be spoken to like this, and that's the bottom line. Even if she were an actual trans woman who had been hiding this from him, which doesn't happen very often, this should still be considered an unacceptable reaction. Obviously, this woman is transphobic, and I kinda hate her for it, but that doesn't mean she deserves to be threatened by someone who claims they love her. That's an opinion I'm willing to stand on as a trans woman myself. What I won't defend is her decision to stay with this clown nearly a year after he reveals himself to be a piece of shit. This pathetic excuse for somebody's son just threatened his own wife 4 times. If anyone tries to say it's not directed at her because it's all hypothetical, then I'd personally call them a fucking idiot. Obviously, this was directed at her. It was also directed at every trans woman and every other woman that he sees as deceitful or dishonest. It was heavily implied at several times that this is something he was not only willing to do, but he would do it given the opportunity. He talks about this as if it's something he's thought about deeply. This man is not not a safe person to be around. I also want to address some of the indirect consequences of this video and how this trend has had a negative impact on the trans community. When you do this, you are perpetuating a stereotype that trans women are dishonest about their gender identity. That reflects poorly on all of us, and by all of us, I mean all women. If they think trans women are dishonest about their gender identity, then they're going to think all women are dishonest about their gender identity. Even her language in the title and throughout the video suggests this is something he'd find out, as if trans women never disclose that information themselves. Now you have men and women in the comments section accusing the wife of being an actual transgender woman and encouraging the husband to leave her. That is how this shit always ends. If you are a cis woman who feeds into skepticism and lies surrounding trans women, you are inadvertently damaging your own life and the lives of countless other cis women just like you. Some might consider that karma, but I just find it disheartening and sad to see cis women like this who are willing to put themselves in literal danger so they can laugh about trans women. Of course, as common as these videos are online, these women are very few and far between. Most cis women I know would stand up to defend my identity as a trans woman even if they had a reason to hate me, and those are the women I envy the most. Now, you'd expect after 9 months, people in the comments would have called out the husband for his reaction, but nope. His behavior is somehow excused by the fact he was speaking hypothetically about trans women, but as we just discussed, he isn't. His transphobia is a direct result of his sexism, and the two usually accompany each other a lot. Fortunately, if he's ever the suspect in a hate crime, this video could be used as pretty damning evidence that he had a motive. And I think that might be the one silver lining to this entire video. Well, that, and hopefully this footage can help convince people that this is a stupid idea before anyone actually gets hurt. I think that about sums up everything I really wanted to address in today's video. If you have anything you'd like to add, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed my commentary in today's video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. My goal is to get monetized by 2027, and I really appreciate everything you guys have done to help me get there. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I hope I get to see you in the next one.